Welcome to Lesson 13C, Prandtl-Meyer function for an ideal gas. In this lesson, we'll integrate the Prandtl-Meyer expansion fan integral for the case of an ideal gas. We'll introduce the Prandtl-Meyer function and the equation for Mach number and flow angle across a Prandtl-Meyer expansion fan, and I'll do an example to verify our results with the CAC. Here's the problem we're talking about. A sudden change of angle along the wall, which generates a Prandtl-Meyer expansion fan. We have Mach angles mu1 and mu2, fan angle alpha, and we define the flow angle theta2 for Mach number 2 and theta1, which is 0 for Mach number 1. This is the equation we generated last time, which we numbered equation 8. The problem with this equation is that we need to now write dV over V in terms of Mach number so that we can integrate this right-hand side. And as we commented last time, this equation is valid for any gas. But now we'll make the ideal gas approximation. I'll go through the algebra here. We know that V equal Mach number times speed of sound. And if we take the natural log of both sides, we get natural log of V equal natural log of m times a, which you should remember that when there's a product like that, this becomes natural log of m plus natural log of a. We differentiate each term in this equation. We get dV over v equal dm over m plus dA over a. I'll call this equation 9, extending the numbering system from the previous lesson. Now we make the ideal gas approximation. This left-hand side is what appears in equation 8. This is already in terms of Mach number, so we want to get this in terms of Mach number. Well, for an ideal gas, we know that A naught over A is the square root of T naught over T, which is 1 plus gamma minus 1 over 2 m squared square root, which we can rewrite as A equal A naught 1 plus gamma minus 1 over 2 m squared to the negative 1/2. Now let's differentiate this equation. We have dA equal A naught, which is a constant since flow through an expansion fan is taken to be isentropic. We get negative 1/2 from this exponent, the term in parentheses to the negative 3/2, and then the derivative of this with respect to m, which gives us 2 gamma minus 1 over 2m, or gamma minus 1m, and then dm. Or dividing by a, we get this for the numerator, and we'll write the denominator as a naught 1 plus gamma minus 1 over 2 m squared to the negative 1/2. Well, the a naughts cancel, and we can group these terms together. We get dA over a is negative gamma minus 1 over 2, 1 plus gamma minus 1 over 2 m squared to the negative 1 m dm. So our equation 9 becomes dV over V is dm over m plus dA over a, which is this term. And I'll write this as dm over m times m squared, so that I have a dm over m in both terms, which I can now group together to get dV over V is dm over m times 1 minus gamma minus 1 over 2 m squared over 1 plus gamma minus 1 over 2 m squared, close bracket. And doing a little bit of algebra on this term in brackets yields dV over V equal dm over m, 1 over 1 plus gamma minus 1 over 2 m squared. We've achieved our goal of getting dV over V in terms of Mach number, and of course, ratio of specific heats since this is an ideal gas. We plug this into equation 8, which then becomes theta2 minus theta1 is the integral from m1 to m2, square root of m squared minus 1 over 1 plus gamma minus 1 over 2 m squared dm over m. But we're taking theta1 to be 0 since the inlet flow is horizontal. Now let's define the Prandtl-Meyer function nu of m. We'll define nu of m as this integral, but without the limits. Namely, nu of m is equal to the integral of this same integrand. And this integral with no limits is the Prandtl-Meyer function. And I'll make a comment here. Do not confuse nu of m with kinematic viscosity, which also uses Greek letter nu. This has nothing to do with kinematic viscosity. Now we apply the limits, as in this equation, and we get theta 2 is nu of m2 minus nu of m1. This is another important equation, which we'll simply call the Prandtl-Meyer equation, and we're assuming here that theta 1 is 0. I'll call this equation 10, and this equation 11. So if we could solve for this nu at m2 and m1, we can go across the expansion fan, where we have angle delta, and this flow angle, theta 2, is also delta, with angle mu1 to the leading edge and angle mu2 from the wall to the trailing edge of the expansion fan, and angle alpha being the fan angle of the entire expansion fan. And for our problem, since we know theta 2, we can use this Prandtl-Meyer equation to get m2. I'll make a comment here. Fan angle alpha is not equal to theta 2. Rather, from our sketch, we see that alpha is mu1 minus mu2 plus delta. This will be a useful equation later on when we solve these flow problems. Let me copy and paste equation 10 from here to here, where now we integrate equation 10 to get an expression for nu of m. There's lots of algebra involved with this, which I'm not going to show. You might want to try this on some really cold, rainy night.
But we've already had several cold, rainy nights already in this course, sir.
Yes, Ned, we sure have. If you take my graduate fluids class, you will have many more cold, rainy nights, maybe even some sleepless nights. Well, after all this algebra, we end up with nu of m equal to square root of gamma plus 1 over gamma minus 1, the arctangent of square root of gamma minus 1 over gamma plus 1, m squared minus 1, minus the arctangent of square root of m squared minus 1. This is our Prandtl-Meyer function for an ideal gas, which I'll call equation 12. I typed that equation here, along with this Prandtl-Meyer equation for theta 2. So let's do an example. At Mach number 2.00, let's calculate the Prandtl-Meyer function and compare with results from the CAC. Of course, we assume ideal gas and 2D flow, and our equation 12 yields nu at m equal 2.00 equal 26.38 degrees to 4 digits here. The Compressible Aerodynamics Calculator can also be used to find nu of m. Basically, we're solving this equation with the CAC. You can scroll through this CAC and not find expansion fans anywhere, but that's because expansion fans are isentropic. So for gamma equal 1.4 and Mach number 2.0, we just hit calculate, and we see our Prandtl-Meyer angle as 26.38, which agrees with what I got when I plugged in 2.0 and 1.4 into equation 12 on my calculator. In other words, the CAC gives us the same answer to 4 digits here, which makes me happy. Finally, I'll make some comments about this Prandtl-Meyer function. Nu as a function of m is an angle, so like any angle, it can be written in units of radians or degrees. We generally prefer degrees, as you saw in the CAC, but you have to be careful because some software requires angles in radians. Nu of m does not represent any physical angle in the flow, unlike mu or beta or alpha, theta, etc. It's just a function or a parameter that we can use to solve these problems. When m equal 1, the Prandtl-Meyer function is 0, since the arctangent of 0 is 0. We can also verify that with our CAC by changing this Mach number to 1 and calculating, we indeed get a Prandtl-Meyer angle of 0. And I comment that this is arbitrary. You'll get a constant of integration when you do the integral, and we picked that constant to force nu of m to be 0 at m equal 1. We could have picked some other constant, but this is what is customary. Finally, nu goes up as Mach number goes up. Nu equals 0 at m equal 1. We can't define nu for subsonic flow, so this is the minimum. And nu goes to some maximum value. And I'll leave it as a homework assignment to calculate this maximum value. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos. 1, 2, 3. That's all there is to it.